Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You know, the last time I did an In Your House review, which you can see on the channel right now. You can see on the channel right now my last In Your House review. I praised In Your House. I praised it. I still would like In Your House to be brought back to the main roster. It's still a great concept, wrestling fans. Still a great concept. But you know, when we look at In Your House 3, and we look at what they did with In Your House 3, in this podcaster's perspective, it was a bomb. It was a bomb. But you know, when we sit back and we think about what WWE did back in the mid-90s, they had one or two matches that really stood out, that really popped, that really got us interested, that really said, wow, this is a great match. This is a match that we really enjoy. And then the rest of them was just like, whatever. Who cares? Right, wrestling fans? But this In Your House, even though on paper, when we look at the matches that they had for us, a triple header matchup in which all three championships were on the line. Intercontinental, World Wrestling Federation, and the tag team championships were defended in one single matchup. It still did not completely deliver. It still did not completely deliver, wrestling fans, in the grand scheme of things. Okay? And we are going to discuss that right here today, wrestling fans. Before we do that, every single one of you, do yourself a favor by becoming a subscriber today. Make sure you do that. If you haven't done so already, I have absolutely no idea why you haven't, because there's so much great content on the channel. Go and check it out. And make sure you leave me a like and a comment down below. It is appreciated. Alright, wrestling fans. Now, let's dive into this In Your House, shall we? In Your House 3 triple header. They start the show off with Waylon Mercy versus Savio Vega. Waylon Mercy, undefeated in the WWF. Undefeated. And Savio Vega. Now, this would have done great things for Savio Vega if they would have continued on with his winning ways after he beat Stone Cold Steve Austin, or the ringmaster Steve Austin, and things of that nature. You know, later on, you know, once $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase left, and things of that nature, because he did beat Waylon Mercy in the opening contest, wrestling fans, of this In Your House. Okay? It wasn't an impressive matchup. As a matter of fact, if you go back and watch this contest, it did kind of put you to sleep. It would kind of put you to sleep, because Waylon Mercy could not do a lot of things inside the squared circle. Alright? Excellent promo work. Excellent promo work. Alright? He's going to squash this bug. You know what I mean? But he really couldn't do all that much inside the squared circle. Now, the bad thing was, after this matchup, Savio Vega didn't accomplish a whole lot. You know, they did stick him with, we are the nation of domination, and things like that. But he didn't get any championships or anything of that nature. So, it was really a bad, move on my part by the WWE. Bad move. Now, big thing about this pay-per-view is the fact that Owen Hart was not here. Wasn't here. Yokozuna's tag team partner, half of the tag team champions in the WWE, and supposedly supposed to go after the Intercontinental or the World Wrestling Federation Championship, and he was not at In Your House, supposedly. So Jim Cornette was supposed to find himself a tag team partner for Yokozuna. Doesn't make any sense that Owen Hart would not be at In Your House. Right? Doesn't make any sense. Even though Jim Cornette is saying, oh, Owen Hart is here. He's in the town. He's going to be here really late. He's going to be this. He's going to be that. Now, we all know that he's going to show up at the very end, some form or fashion, in which he does, but still, you'd think that he would be there the entire night, and we would have a good tag team matchup. And you think that the people that Owen Hart does go up and, that Jim Cornette does go up and ask, would just say, wow, I want to get my hands on Diesel or Shawn Michaels. Because he went up and he asked people like King Mabel and people like that, who actually had a history with Diesel. King Mabel, at SummerSlam, had a rivalry with Diesel. You think that he would want another shot at the World Wrestling Federation Championship, right? No, of course not. He turned it down. No, he just turned it down flat. No sense. Instead, we got somebody that's right under Jim Cornette's nose, which we will talk about later, wrestling fans. But next, we had Sid versus Henry Godwinn, in which another matchup that was just, well, there to make the fans happy when Ted DiBiase got slopped by Henry Godwinn after Sid picked up the victory. Now, of course, Sid's going to pick up the victory here because throughout the rivalry, he had been slopped and things of that nature throughout this entire rivalry leading up to In Your House. He'd been slopped. Henry Godwinn been powerbombed. It was going back and forth. Fans have to be happy at the pay-per-view, and that's exactly what happened. Ted DiBiase slopped again, just like on the way to In Your House. And Ted DiBiase throws a fit, like only the $1 Million Man can in the WWE. It was entertaining, I will say that. We go from that right into the discussion I kind of just took care of with president of the WWE at the time, Gorilla Monsoon, and Jim Cornette talking about how the triple header matchup is going to take place. He needs to find himself a tag team partner for Yokozuna, or Yokozuna can just go in and take on Diesel and Shawn Michaels in a 2-on-1 handicap matchup. Now, after that, we dive right into British Bulldog and Bam Bam Bigelow. A match that it was alright. It was alright. We all knew that the British Bulldog was going to win, which we found out why later on in the night. Okay, he needed that victory. Bulldog needed that victory for two reasons. Number one, he was facing The Undertaker the next night on Raw. And if you're going to face the dead man the next night on Raw, you needed momentum. And he had another reason later on in the night. From that, we find ourselves watching Razor Ramon versus Dean Douglas. The teacher, Dean Douglas. A rivalry that started at SummerSlam when Razor Ramon lost to Shawn Michaels Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Does anybody care? Did anybody care back then? I know I didn't when I was a kid, and I didn't when I rewatched it now. I just didn't. The match I did care about was Bret Hart versus Jean-Pierre Lafitte. Now, you might ask why I cared about this match. Bret Hart taking on this poorly wrestler Pirate, honestly. Because the Pirate couldn't really wrestle himself out of a wet paper bag. But Bret Hart got him to a decent matchup, honestly. And it was built around the fact that he kept on, the Pirate kept on stealing Bret Hart's glasses, Bret Hart's jacket, things of that nature. And the fact that, honestly, they were building Bret Hart for the Survivor Series that year to take the title off Diesel. Because Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, as we all know, was having that classic Iron Man matchup that went over an hour long. It was an alright matchup in your house. Nothing to really get excited about, but Bret Hart did pick up victory. That Pirate didn't stand a chance. And of course, the main event, in which we saw the British Bulldog take on, fill the place of Owen Hart. Which, in my eyes, was a complete cluster. Because we saw a decent tag match, but then we saw Owen Hart come out at the end and get pinned. And that's how the match ended. In which, the next night, the titles pretty much just got handed back to Yokozuna and Owen Hart. Because Owen Hart wasn't the tag team champion back then. Or the former night. British Bulldog was. So, it was a complete waste of time. So, in a nutshell, the In Your House 3 triple header pay-per-view, even though I think In Your House is a great concept and WWE should bring it back, In Your House 3 is just one of these WWE could have done better. We all knew the direction they were going. It was already building towards WrestleMania. But it had way too many just whatever matches. It had two decent matches that we really enjoyed. And it's like, we all knew WWE could have done better back in September of 1995. But y'all let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Remember to do that. It is very important. I am sorry I did not bring SmackDown review on Friday. I will do my best to bring Monday Night Raw review to you on tomorrow night. There's some things that I'm having to take care of now this week, and there were some things I had to take care of last week that I was unable to. Okay, um, but I will do my best to bring that to you tomorrow night. But I hope you enjoyed this, and until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch all of you on the other side. Talk to you later.